everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I am your go-to Road to Kingdom dance analyst, and we are finally here. We are starting Road to Kingdom Ace of Ace with the Ace battles as well as the intro stages. So this is going to be split up into two parts for YouTube, but it's all going to be done in one go on Patreon, and you don't have to wait if you are on Patreon. So I am just so excited to just be able to start in real time. I'm just through the moon on it, and I do intend on looking at the episode as well, same day, but it'll get released later on YouTube, hopefully, if the copyright doesn't kill me. So I think without further ado, I think it's time to get started. We have, I believe it's 8 turn, my 8 turn ace. Let's go.
Ace of 8 turn.
Okay. Suspending. Great core usage so far. Ooh, okay. And Vino, Veritas. Oh, I didn't see who choreographed it. Oh, crap. I'll go back. He's giving Final Fantasy, anime, character, low-key giving Artist of the Month, doesn't it? Cool. Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, little Zulu spin assist into the chair. That was so cool. Oh, grabs the wine and he... Okay. That was cool. That was a really cool setup. Okay, we're here for this. I'm down for these ace matchups. This is wild. Okay, here we go.
Ace.
Ace. It would have been funny if he was just off to the side enough to where that ace was like not reading. Okay, so he's suspended. Core is being used. I need to like stop and actually see who choreographed this over on the side. He grabs the match right there. That's all music. So the fact that he blows it out, I don't know what he was listening for, but that was right on the money. Yeah, I'm just gonna assume that he, it's either his sound or his musicality is top tier. Okay, we got J-Rick and What's Up. Now, I'm not familiar with What's Up as much as I am with J-Rick. If you don't know J-Rick, I believe is, in a relationship with Bada, and they do a lot of tag team choreo, like a lot of it, especially on the SM side, like with the soloists, like with Kai and everybody. So cool. That makes sense, having J-Rick on that. Okay. So the subtlety, he lays back, really good tone setting. He takes that very like dark, mysterious vibe about it, which is really cool. So he has the blindfold on his head, the little twinkling boom, which is cool. He pulls up the hips on that, which is nice, good suspension. And then he pulls boom, boom. It's very fascinating that he's still able to travel it up a little bit more. Very, very cool. And he has this moment up. I know if this is your bias for 8 turn, I bet you are just loving today, I bet, is what this performance felt like to you. But that's cool. How he goes and he arches it back was really nice. The switch up on the legs on one side, and then when he unfolds or he recrosses, he ends up using that as a transition off the chair. Great choice. I love the fact that we have this fog in play, and then you have the fire. So LED lighting usage looks great. Now, those who choreograph this, are they the ones also in charge of the movement direction? That's a big question, because maybe these intro stages have the choreographers of, you know, just setting the stuff, but then you have movement directors that are their go-to people that they use, you know. We'll know more of that later on, or you guys will probably tell me, which is cool. But anyway, he ends up bringing it through. What's really nice about this is he has to be very mindful of his weight in the beginning. He doesn't want the chair to fall over too early. So that right there is way more controlled than you think it is, because he can't just go for it because you don't want the chair to fall over yet, right? So going back here, he switches it up. Like I said, he goes and he has to tuck his head to his belly button, look at it in order to let the upper shoulders hit first, because the worst thing to happen is to have your neck get all the brunt of that. So he goes really nice, and I love how he sinks into it, which is super nice. Everything's very intentional, which I like. It has a lot of tension, a lot of control, which is nice. So he goes into a little pike, he reaches, we take the leg, then they set it over, boom, da-da-da-doom, then we go and we take the legs over. Now, do I think that some of the leg choices I feel are they're not simple, but I would say that it does, like, the complexity comes in the execution of dealing with the prop, not quite the density of, like, how polyrhythmic it is. So when I talk about polyrhythms, it's 2 or more things happening at the same time that are different. And so the sound and the music doesn't really have a ton of polyrhythms in it. So doing movement that caters to that is not going to work as effectively, but polyrhythms and content can really help in advocating for difficulty. But here in this case, we're advocating more for the prop usage, which I think is totally fine, and he has his own moment breaking away from the chair, which I totally like. It's fine. So how he twists and he has to suspend on it, it does give like a freeze vibe. I don't know if it was how awkward it was for him to get in that position. It kind of felt that way. He goes back in. Yeah, I don't know how stable he was in holding it. It does feel like he's wavering his weight a smidge, having to cater the weight of the hip and using his arm to create that balance as well. The look is nice. Boom, da, da, da. That's cool. He kicks to reset, so I like how he's now sitting on the chair, very nonchalant. Really cool. Twinkling it in is also really nice. We exit. Boom, boom. Love it. Fringe galore. They go and they hit back. Boom, and then we're going to kick it right back up. And then we go. We twist the legs around. We go crash. With that sound, we're grabbing it at the top, he melts it down, here we go. And we do a little slide, which is also fine, and we go back down to another bridge recover. So I bet you we're gonna have some bridge recovers, which is what you see here. You just saw it from ONEUS already. So, I mean, get ready. We may make a little, take a shot every time you see one. We may be drunk by the end. We'll see. But anyway, we drop it down. I do feel like, were we going for a placement into a trace, or we just place and we grab? Not sure. Camera didn't give me that. That's fine. He goes back in. Boom. A lot of character moments, but so was my ONEUS guy. That's fine. They bring it over, da-da-da, and we go brush, brush. I do feel like some of his choices could be a little bit more forceful usage of the back to make it feel more full, because I like the choices. Like J-Rick, I like his choreo. It's cool. But it's not just, that's only half the battle. Half of it is the dancer, whoever's executing it, and calibrating it to his implicit movement quality. So how his body naturally wants to sit and resonate. Now, A-turn knows how to sit in a pocket, specifically an 82 pocket. Really impressive seeing that. So I was honestly surprised that we didn't go with like Jinwoo for this, but I'm totally fine with that. That's absolutely fine. But I really do like what we're seeing here. I just think that some of our choices may be harder to read from far away, like a lot of these accents, because we're not really investing in our back and in our core, in our groove, which is in the upper body, to make that feel a little bit more in the forefront. He brings it over, boom, that's fine. And even that there, I think his focus was getting the blindfold off, so I feel like we neglected just a little bit in our body on that moment. And hits it, boom, boom, little stable check on that, click, click, is fine. So he hits it through. So this stuff is cool. So I would say with prop usage, 10 out of 10, but his choreo is a bit underwhelming, and I don't know if it's the structure as much as it is how he's physically like pushing through it, but we have to think logistics of the shoes, logistics of how long they've been sitting there in the filming. You also have to think through how long did he have to learn it. What were the main focuses? I bet you they spent most of the time on the prop more so than the content. I totally get that. So there's a lot of those little factors. That's absolutely fine. Remember, we're here. This is a fantastic baseline that we're experiencing with all the groups and the aces. So all I can see is progress. And I know a lot going in, way more than any other kingdom that I've watched with these groups. So it makes me excited to see. So the rotation is fine, the boom boom, nice, clear, readable. That was very readable, da-da-da. But he does carry a subtle stiffness in his back. Hits it over, all of this here. The slide through was nice where he goes and he twists on the rotation. Now you did end up seeing something like that from ONEUS earlier, but the difference was he finished rolled through the stomach entirely with the switch of the legs. He just slid horizontally across the floor, so that's why it feels subtly different. Shout out to TAEMIN, let's go, sir. They go down, he pulls, boom, he drops it. You know, like these little moments, it's cool. It's a cool moment, but it does eat up on your time a smidge. So that's my note. He drops it, and then he's going, he's running, and that is I like the suspension extension and then he twists it. So that is a Zulu spin, but it's assisted on the chair. Like I said, he sits in the chair, he goes, he throws, we're crossing the leg. So that for me, I would start counting because we've already kind of seen this cross on the chair, on the side, on the front, and then we're seeing it right here. So that'd be number 3 that we're seeing that. So that would be my note to the choreography, finding a different way to kind of sit in the chair, because we've already seen a lot of like setups with the crossovers on our legs on that. So he has this moment, that's fine. Boom, boom, brrr. I like the crawl on that. That was fun. He goes up, he accents, which is fine. A little bit on the stiffer side. I wish it was a little bit more impactful in that snap sound. But he runs. He's focused more on this. I do think his run felt a little bit... It was committed, but it broke character for a smidge because we were thinking, oh, what are we about to do with the chair? Not, oh, I'm sinking deeper and captivated by your character, right? And a good example would be if you watch ONEUS versus here. This one has really dope prop work. Honestly, I'm more impressed by this prop work, but I would say commitment to character with ONEUS really helped shape and make the prop work feel very seamless in the transition. So that's my note there. So this was really cool. So he hits it, he grabs. Really nice the fact that he had to reach for that, you know, so good on the stretch. He takes it, he drinks it all, and he crashes. Yeah, so it was the shock value of the tail end on breaking the glass and actually drinking it all. I was actually more impressed on that. He does all that. Good timing. I think like his music, like his timing on a lot of the gimmick stuff was really well done. When you look at the content, on the stiffer side, not something that I'm unfamiliar with, because remember I've watched ONEUS, but it does make me excited to see more. Like, this is really cool. Okay, so finished up with A turn. Moving on. I'm curious about this one. The fog is engulfed on that freaking stage. That is cool. I will say doing chair choreo and trying to be abstract with it is hard. It is very hard. Okay. I still agree with my statements. The content itself, how he's executing it's a bit underwhelming. Fly through there. Cool. Grabs the cup. Of course, you have the camera on the back end. What I appreciate about this one is the fact that, I mean, of course, sitting here, you can't really see that he broke the glass. You see a little bit. We know that. But I appreciate the fact that I don't think we had a camera guy like all up in that at all. So this one is great for this type of staging that you have, because you don't have a camera in the way or anything like that, which I appreciate. So that to me, that's a win. I respect that. I love that. I think that's something that I really liked about the Queendom 2 stages, when you didn't have a camera that was so close like that, because you can miss really cool details that you want your audience to appreciate and see, but they can't see it if you have a camera there, right? But I know that people kind of pick their battles on that. I still feel like he's kind of over prepping for the chair prop usage, but that's something it's very minor in the grand scheme of things. Just like with all of my notes, they're all relatively minor. None of them are like this big thing that's going to really change the impact of their scoring. Really none of them. It's just going to be a collection of mini notes that are given. So keep that in mind. That one looks pretty good, and I like the fact that we were able to actually see all of it. Of course, near the tail end, it was very tailored to the camera on that side, but I like the visual, and there were people on the other side that got to see it, so that was cool. Thank you guys for watching this with me. Some of you guys have made it all the way through from the tip top of the ACE analysis all the way through here. If you're on Patreon, more power to you. I'm shocked myself I made it through, but this makes me so excited. I hope you're excited to watch the episode with me. My goal is episode 1 will be released to the public, but all future episodes are going to be exclusive to paid members on Patreon. But I will have a group chat on Patreon. You do not have to be a paid member. It can be a free member to join and be a part of the discussions. I'd love to meet you there. Rep your fandom. I also want to hear more context. What's going on in the neck of the woods of all the fandoms? Is there any beef that's going on? Anything that's starting to stir that I can help kind of alleviate or put fires out on? I hope I was able to kind of cover some things here. But remember, I am team everyone except Mnet for this. I want everybody to grow. I want everybody to experience celebrations. I want everybody to experience, you know, growth and safe hardships. Yeah, like the challenges, I don't want to be left with PTSD like what we've had from other kingdoms. I want to be able to put my best foot forward and help be an advocate for groups. And I hope I was able to be clear or constructive, but still show that I really do care about these groups and that they are people. And at the end of the day, who freaking cares about the rankings? Did they feel good about what they did? And I want them to be able to celebrate that. So I'm excited for the discussions on all of this. You guys know me, I know you. I am Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.